have just a few clarifying questions. I think you said a phrase along the lines of, like, if there's a problem that a lot of people have, then having the project open source and building a community to solve it is the right thing to do. When you said that, was right thing to do in the terms of a right thing to do for the business or right thing to do for humanity, or both?
It's the right thing to do for everybody else, not the business, which I think sometimes those things can be at odds, as people probably know that have helped run businesses before. But I think that's why people are really passionate at the company we're at, is because we always try to put what we call the mission above ourselves, right? So if we've actually just recently, I was reached out to by a foreign country's government office through LinkedIn, and they wanted to talk about Zarf. And I was like, I had no idea somebody over there was using our stuff. I'm not sure if they'd be comfortable being mentioned, so I won't. But it's like, it's also really rewarding, and so our developers feel the same way, right? Like when you get contacted by somebody who received value and is doing something important for their country, with software you made and you didn't even know they were using you away. Like at the end of the day, I think everybody who writes software, and I used to do it, so I'll put myself in the shoes for just a second. Like, you want people to use what you created. The most frustrating thing is when nobody uses it. So even if somebody's using it for free, typically the developers don't care. They just want to make sure their salary's coming in. And so, but like whether it's somebody over here or somebody over there, pay, not pay, the developer doesn't care. They're excited that somebody has received value from what the hard work they put in. And
Yep.
so I had a few of my core developers hop on with that call because I thought it was fascinating, and they walked away more energized than I've ever seen. And like, uh, had they not reached out to me on LinkedIn, we would have never known. And I doubt they'll ever be. Maybe they'll become a customer of ours someday, but that wasn't the intent, right? Like maybe not. But even what I told them is like joining our Slack Connect or joining our Slack on Kubernetes and being an active user, giving us, even as a product person, right, giving us validation or invalidation of things we're doing is still value to the business, even
Yep.
though it's not dollars. And so not wasting dollars is just as important as spending dollars, right? And so invalidating features is a huge thing. And so that was really our authentic way to approach people, is like, yeah, just join our community first and just talk to us and like help us understand what we're doing. And if things grow from there, great. If they don't need to, they don't need to. And that's fine with us. But yeah, it's what's right for everybody else, not just ourselves.
On kind of that point and the community building, like when you say donate a project, that means to transfer the project to an open source foundation, nonprofit organization, who then helps build a bigger community, bigger ecosystem around the project that it already had. Is that a accurate way of putting it, how you're using
Yeah.
the word donate?
Yes. I've also been told by developers to call it contribution. So I use the word donate. Maybe I'm wrong. But we literally, I went through this for the first time actually with Zarf just a couple weeks ago. You sign legal documents, you notarize them, you transfer IP and trademarks of the logo.
Trademark. Yep. Yep.
Yep,
Mhm.
you give up. We just moved actually just today, we moved our Zarf GitHub repo that's been there for 3 years to a generic one that's not our company, it's not slash our company Zarf anymore. And our domain, our website domain, we're transferring ownership of that to Linux Foundation. So when I like to use the word donate because it feels like I just took something to Goodwill, right? Like my personal life. Not that it's comparing the organizations, but you see what I mean, right? Like we showed up and said, "Here you go. This is yours now." I mean, we are obviously still actively maintaining it with other. We have another maintainer on the project, and not our company, so we're very involved. We're still staffing it, but like it's not ours anymore. We don't control everything anymore, and that was intentional because we want the community to have trust that we're not going to change for our own selfish needs. Like we're forcing us, or we have forced ourselves to be governed by others to not do that.
I mean, it's actually an interesting compromise, right? Because while the trademark, you have given something over to a neutral place, but the copyright is still yours. And so it's not as though you've given away all of your intellectual property, but you have made it so that there's a level of uh, clear path to a clear level playing field, right? That makes it easier. So I find this type of thing when contributing or giving that level of intellectual property, be it the trademark of the project, to a neutral body, like I said, it means something. But quite frankly, there's a lot of control you didn't give up. There's a lot of intellectual property you didn't give up. which is good. But you're stating an intent, which is an important step. But it isn't the entire giving away everything either. So it's a compromise.
Yeah, that's a fair clarification. I would also, like, for us, we view our best IP as our best people. Like,
Yep.
those people still work at Defense Unicorns and they still have full context of the code base. That's the greatest risk mitigation from a pure business perspective. And that's why I went back to like keeping our developers happy. That is a, religious commitment at our company and that our people ops team does a fantastic job of, but everybody plays a role, right, in creating a culture people want to be a part of.